Hello everyone, I am Dr. Gunjan Desai, Director EduSearch Clinics. As you all know, EduSearch Clinics is about all-round education platform for students as well as general population. And we had a lot of queries coming in from our audience regarding financial literacy. Because it is something that is not taught in schools, not taught in colleges, and for all the degrees that we have taken, the one of the motives for all of us is of course our family, looking after our family, taking care of our future. As we all know, a lot of professions now don't even have pension, so that is something that our generation is also looking into, and that is why we are looking for the right person, with the right aptitude to take us through some introductory topics and then dive into depth of the topic of financial planning and management. And it is with great pleasure that I would like to introduce Mr. Ronak Onkar. He's a fund manager and head of research at the well-known Parag Parikh Financial Advisory Services Mutual Funds. And something from his career that I can see is that long term is the vision in financial planning, and same applies to his career as well. He has been there since 2008, risen in rank from an intern to now head of research and fund advisor, and he's helping them drive their investments outside India over the last few years. Apart from that, he is well read. He's a voracious reader, runs marathons, and regularly features as a participant across TV channels as well for financial literacy. So I think it's a great initiative, Ronak, and thanks a lot for joining our platform. Over the next few weeks, we will be discussing very interesting topics related to financial planning, and we will be taking in viewer questions towards the end of this series as a Q&A session. So all of you can send in your queries to our email ID, which is learnwithedusearch@gmail.com. So over to you, Ronak.
Dr. Gunjan, thank you very much. And this is such a wonderful opportunity. I love to communicate about investing and simplifying some of the complex areas of finance. And you provided this opportunity. I am really grateful for that. And I also went through your channel before we spoke, and I got a chance to see how you are trying to educate even the medical community about a lot of techniques and how different surgeries are conducted. And that's actually quite phenomenal. I really like the effort to educate everyone, and I'm really grateful that you invited me here.
Thank
So
you.
today's presentation is a small one, but it's going to be about the very basics of investing, where people generally don't know what investing is. So people understand what saving money is. It's like not spending more than what you make, and whatever is left is what is saved. But people generally don't understand what investing is. And I want to highlight a very key concept of investing over here, where the importance of actually going beyond the very basic and most default choices that people generally have. And this is for those people who get stressed about managing money, who don't have time to study different options. And the entire series is about educating the viewers and the audience with very, very basic concepts of what different asset classes are, where to invest, what are the options available. And we will go on with different topics as we go along. But today's guide is basically just to have a stress-free approach to managing money and not getting worried when you see when you have to make a financial decision. So when you look at most professionals nowadays, whenever the talk comes about managing money, this is usually a very stressful thing because we don't know different knowledge people have about different products. People generally have a very family-oriented thought process that, okay, something that their parents did, they will probably continue doing that because that's what they have been grown up with. But there is actually a need to understand what is beyond what people in the past generation did. Because a very important thing has happened in the past 25 years is that financial markets in India have opened up. The ability to invest money beyond the basic options like bank accounts, savings deposit, and fixed deposit accounts. Beyond that, there are a lot of options that have opened up. And it has also opened up the stock market, the debt market, and even the markets for investing in real estate, gold. So some of the basic stuff people generally understand, but it's actually a very stressful thing for a non-finance person who, like Dr. Gunjan said, has not been educated in the basics of finance through academic career also. So yeah, don't need to be stressed. It's just a journey, and every step towards learning towards that will count to improving your understanding. So one of the most common question people generally ask who are not educated with financial topics is that why not leave the money in the savings account? So I know exactly how much money I have. It's in one place, and it'll keep growing. It has some interest rate that I get paid from the bank, and it is sometimes a default choice. And default is so easy because you don't have to think about the default. You have already made the choice several years back by choosing the bank, and that's all you want to do. But beyond that, there is no choice you have to make, and it actually helps the person who is not wanting to learn about new things. But let me disabuse you of that notion as to why keeping money in the savings account is not a good idea. So sometimes through memes, you can actually teach people or educate people or get their attention. So this is a very famous Star Wars meme. Now, uh, of course, keeping money in the savings account, like I said, gets you some interest, but does it really help you grow your money? So a lot of people think that, okay, once the value of the amount of the money has increased, that should be enough, right? That is how the money grows. And if the money has grown, then that means it is doing its job. It is more than what it was yesterday. So it is doing its job. However, most people have a very different notion of what money they keep as savings. Let me give you a very broad construct, and this is something which is just arithmetic. It has nothing to do with finance. It has nothing to do with the ability to understand financial concepts. This is just a basic mathematics concept which we have learned in school. So, income, sometimes people treat it as what they have as wealth. And this is a very common confusion people have. And I'll explain to you why the confusion exists. So when you have income, that means the amount of money you keep making regularly through your professional activity. So in case of medical practitioners, you will have a practice somewhere, you will get a salary or you will get your fees that the patients give you for your services. And that is your regular income that keeps coming in. Out of that, there will be some need to spend money on your personal life, on your practice or educating yourself. A lot of things you will spend money on, and then some amount of money will be left. That is your amount that is available to save. Now, when you keep that money into savings, that essentially becomes a stock of money that you have. And that stock of money is your essentially your wealth, the amount of wealth you have. And as the stock keeps going up and up over a period of time, your wealth keeps on increasing. So the amount of money that comes in as income is not directly linked to your wealth. There is a lot of things that happen in the middle, and then the amount of money that is left with you is wealth. Now, assume that you have borrowed some money, and that also has to be minus or subtracted from that wealth. And whatever is then left after that debt you have to pay, then that becomes your wealth. So the income is something you make periodically through your practice, through your profession, and the wealth is something that gets stored as a surplus that is left. So people who want to learn about this topic in a much better way and want to spend some time in a more entertaining way also, there's a very interesting book which I read when I was in college, and it actually opened up a lot of these concepts very early to me. This is a very famous book. You can find it anywhere very easily. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in this story, in this book, the author tries to correlate this concept of income and wealth and how to grow wealth through a very different mindset. So one mindset is of a child whose father is a salaried person, and the other mindset of a child whose father is a business owner, a local business owner. And these two kids are friends. Now, once the salaried person's kid goes to the house of the business owner's kid, he suddenly sees a very different approach of how that person conducts his life, how that person looks at money. Whereas at his home, his father has a very different way of looking at money. So by giving a story, by creating a story around the context of income and wealth, you actually get a chance to learn about these very, very fundamental concepts, which are mathematical concepts. They're not even financial concepts. Now, once you read this book, I'm just giving you a reference if you want to pick it up, but you don't need to, because a lot of these concepts we will be discussing as we go along. But yeah, I think it's a very good book to at least kickstart the notion, or even if you have kids who you want to educate them about money, this is a good book to give. And this book does not have a specified age group. You can actually give them to a teenager also, and they can help start learning about these things at a very early age. So mostly when I said about saving your money, the idea was to keep your money in the savings account. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to do, right? It's just leave it there. Money came in, you spend some money on top of that. Whatever is left is the money that you have in the bank, and it's very happy. You're very happy with that choice. But when you start investing, a whole new world of possibilities opens up. And I will tell you why investing is required, where that money which is kept in the bank account has to go to work somewhere and grow in value at a much faster rate. And that faster rate is something we have to understand. Why is it required? So one of the first places to invest your wealth, uh, forget about all the financial products in the market. The first place to invest is invest in yourself. Now, this seems like a very cheeky or a uh, very simplified version or some bumper sticker kind of a logic, but actually investing in yourself has a very important connotations, especially for people who are in business, people who are professionals, or people who are also salaried employees. So one way to invest in yourself is by investing in your education. So you have some money with you today, which you can invest in your education to become better at something, become more skilled at something that you want to be skilled at. Number two, to invest in yourself is if you are a doctor, you have a practice which is independent, you can actually spend some money in making your clinic larger, giving more, having more room for patients. You can actually start a hospital. Whatever business you want to start from a medical point of view, you can have a diagnostic chain next to it, which is again run by you and or some friends who are in the diagnostics profession. So you can create an ecosystem of products around your practice so that it's easier for patients to manage everything, and the quality can be controlled by you to some extent. So investing in your business, investing in your practice can actually also be a way of using your money. And if you are a business owner, again, in reinvesting that money in that business, like I said, just like a practice, a business also may have expansion needs and growth needs. You can also invest and fund those growth needs to the amount that you have saved. So this concept helps a lot in the initial days, because in the initial days you may not have enough capital with you, so you started very small. But as you become an expert in your profession, as some time goes by, you realize that there are better things to do, uh, to get more revenue, to attract more patient, provide better patient care, or provide a better quality of product. And for that, you need to invest in some research, you need to invest in some marketing, you need to invest in expansion, you need to make the place look a little better so that people will want to come in. And you also need to be better at your job. So all these things are very important as an investment, which should be the primary goal of your money when you are very young. You should invest in yourself first, and that way you can also increase the value that you have for somebody who hires you as a professional.